The Home Depot report yesterday that I think had a lot of people concerned. And the question was, okay, the lowering of guidance from Home Depot sent shares lower yesterday on concerns about consumer spending. Were we going to hear the same thing from Lowe's? We didn't.
You know, that was kind of the expectation going in this morning, that we would kind of usually get copy-paste results from Lowe's. But it's interesting. I think with Lowe's, we kind of tend to forget it's a little bit of this like turnaround story. So they've been really like doing some of these initiatives to get their business back growing again. So they've really focused on things like their digital expansion. It seems to be gaining a lot of traction. They talked a lot about AI. I found this commentary really interesting about how it's already, their AI assistant kind of helps you shop. You ask what you're looking for. It's already getting 1 million queries a month. Wow. And they say it doubles the conversion rate. So it seems like they're making really good progress there. And another thing that they're doing to kind of copy Home Depot is expand their offerings to professional contractors. And that also seems to be really gaining traction. They had around $9 billion acquisition last quarter to kind of build out that business a little more. So it just seems like the divergence here with Lowe's and Home Depot is that just Lowe's is just making really steady progress on executing some of these strategies, borrowing a lot of Home Depot's businesses, but doing it maybe a little bit, at least the appearance is maybe doing it a little bit better than Home Depot at the moment.
I will say Lowe's is still down on the year, about 7% to the downside. Home Depot, though, is down about 14% so far here in 2025. Hey, Lily, I want to go to TJX because it did hit, I think, a 52-week high in today's session. It's up 21% year to date, but right now the stock's little change, a little bit lower. A bit of a range, like more than a 4% range from peak to trough today. So what's going on at TJX? Although I should be able to tell everybody what's going on at TJX.
I mean, TJX is an interesting story today. You know, it really shows that consumers are looking for value. They want to get popular brands. They want to get designer brands, but they don't want to spend the premium that comes with a lot of other retailers.
And I also love like the whole TJ Maxx. I don't know how much you guys spend in TJ Maxx.
I've never been there.
On occasion.
I know. I don't know if it's a regional thing. Like I didn't have one where I was growing up. But
in California?
Well, where I'm from in California. I mean, it's a big state, but like, no, we had like we didn't have TJX. Maybe we do now.
Well, there's this like discovery factor,
from a small
right?
town.
Exactly. Like if you see something, like people always say, buy it because it won't be there next time around.
Why do people love TJX so much? Why is Scarlett talking about her credit card? Mary Ross Gilbert from Bloomberg Intelligence, she said the same thing earlier on Bloomberg Intelligence radio. She loves it too. Yeah. Why do people love it?
Well, I think people love the like thrill of the hunt experience of going into a TJ Maxx, not knowing what they're going to find, finding something from an expensive brand that maybe normally they wouldn't buy, or that's just much, much cheaper than they would find at another retailer. So I think it's a mix of the value, like you get really good deals and, you know, you have that experience of not knowing what you're going to get.
I forgot too that you do get a discount when you open, but you get coupons for when you spend. So like you have like a $5 coupon or a $10 coupon. So it's like,
it's the hunt, the bargain.
I was like, honey, I have a coupon. And they're like, yeah, but you're still paying for stuff. Let's go to Target. What do we see with Target here, Red?
Yeah, Target continuing this slow kind of decline. They're still kind of struggling through another kind of turnaround story similar to Lowe's, but it doesn't seem to be executing as well. Sales were down 2.7%. For the quarter. It's been 3 consecutive quarters now of falling sales. I think with just to bring TJ Maxx back in, because it is our favorite topic here at the moment.
There's also home goods too, where you can buy all the pillows you want.
Correct, right? So with Target used to have that sort of like fun surprise factor.
So true.
Right? And it seems like they've sort of lost their way a little bit there. And I think that maybe is still kind of reflected in some of the results. They've tried to move into things like grocery, but they're just not able to kind of compete in the way that Walmart is there just in terms of scale. So it's still kind of remains to be seen where Target can kind of reinvigorate that growth, can reinvigorate some of that excitement that they used to have.
Can I just say Target, what they used to be known for and used to do it so well is they had these collaborations with Isaac Mizrahi, Alexander McQueen, Missoni. I mean, I remember people lining up before the store opened. I was like, when are they, going to bring out the collection? And people would just, go there and buy tons and tons of stuff. Like they just were kind of cool in how they did that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And that's kind of the new CEO's priority. He really wants, when he comes in February, he really wants to be able to bring fun back to Target and bring that kind of excitement back.
Yeah. You know, as people who watch and listen to our program regularly know, we're trying to figure out where this economy is, where the consumer fits into this economy. We're going to hear from Gap later this week. We get Walmart earnings later this week as well. That will certainly shed a light. But Lily, ahead of that, thus far, what we've heard from these retailers, what's the picture that they're painting the consumer?
I I mean, I think we know the consumer is pretty stressed. I think they're stressed, but they're still spending. A lot of the companies I cover, so those specialty retailers, so like a Gap or Victoria's Secret, haven't reported yet. So I think that will be really interesting and kind of rounding out the picture, especially around what young consumers are doing.
You cover Crocs. That was a very hot company for a long time.
Yeah.
It's had some troubles lately.
It's had some troubles lately.
Is that because of the consumer or is it because of Crocs?
It seems like a mixed story there. Yeah, I think they saw some people pulling back, and I also think they've kind of struggled to get people excited.
Yeah, Red, come on back in here, because I do think, that's one of the things we are trying to figure out, how the consumer's doing, and not every consumer is the same. And again, we do talk about a wealthier consumer has seemed to continue to spend. Are you picking up on any kind of narratives or threads? Especially, I always feel like on the call with analysts or investors, that's where you start to get some better color about what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's interesting. Like, I feel like some of the sentiments that Lily said are being echoed across like Lowe's, Home Depot as well, where like there is this idea of still the resilient consumer. Like, I feel like we heard that a few quarters ago. Like, consumers are still resilient. We heard this also in restaurants a couple of weeks ago of, these richer consumers are also trading down into fast food, things like that. So it's like people are managing, right? But it's just like they're doing it in these sort of like interesting ways. Like, we all are kind of feeling these same pressures that we're talking about. We can all have real life examples, but it's still like I don't feel like we can't like make a definitive call yet to say the consumer is weak, right?